Two things. First, I want to let you guys know that yes, this is a towel. And yes, it is covering the window because the lighting was so terrible. Also, before we begin, I have to get one thing out the way. So, yeah. Oh no, it's the t-shirt of white, which can only indicate a trigger warning. Trigger warning: if you're sensitive to things such as school shootings, death, and destruction, I suggest you skip this video and, I don't know, go watch episode 30 or something like that. Because here in this video, we're going to go into a deep dive about school shootings, depression, death, self-harm, and all that good stuff. So, like I said, if you're sensitive to that, skip the video, and I'll see you guys next week. In other cases, let's get ready for the video. Unfortunately, this problem is heartbreakingly, uniquely American. Hello everybody, welcome back to another banging episode of Talking That Nonsense with your host, me, Michael. Looks like we're on our 31st episode, 31st installment of Talking That Nonsense. Never in my wildest dreams, people. I'm wearing the black shirt of seriousness. Unfortunately, we do not have any sentence this week due to one thing. Something that's been going on in my community for the past 2 days. And this is not the first time, it's not the second time. And unfortunately, it will not be the last time. But I am getting sick of gun violence. I am getting sick of gun violence. Let me elaborate on that. This will not sit there, and I'm not going too deep into my political preferences, but what I will do is explain the problem, dive deeper into the problem, talk about the root of the problem, and then I will offer up a couple of solutions. And there was one solution that we all know, we all can think of, but nobody and everybody is too scared to act on this. Because of why? That is a question that I have yet to answer myself. It's almost like every week there's a new mass shooting in this country. I swear. Guns are the leading cause of death for children and teenagers in the United States. Source? Just trust me, bro. It's sad. But what really annoys me, we're not going to take a deep dive into school shootings, but it's unfortunate that I have to mention this before. Thank God I put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video, because some people get really sick stomachs, get sick, makes them physically ill, the thought of somebody with the idea of wanting to walk into a populated school and gun down dozens of people to get their point across. It's really a dark day in America when that happens. But recently, so you guys know me, I'm from Ohio, Hubbard, Ohio. It is with, we're going to talk about it. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, March 14th, 2023. And just the other day, my school, there were rumors. We received a couple of threats about what I can only assume is a shooting that would occur. So then, everybody else was freaking out. The building was locked down. Everybody was losing their mind. But me, I kind of sat there. I kind of sat there, and I was just thinking. I was thinking about how sad it is, first of all. But what I thought was really sad is when I was sitting there and everybody else was panicking, I was sitting there, neat as a pin. I was not phased. I was not phased whatsoever. I was not phased at all. I don't understand. But here, let me 1 second. Let me pull up some statistics because this will interest you a lot. I gotta stop myself. I don't want to get too political because this video is not necessarily about guns. This is me trying to get to the root of the problem, and just how like maybe 2 episodes ago we talked about social media and bad experiences, whatnot. I guess this is not a part 2, but just kind of just we should add stuff onto that. If you didn't know, all these threats and these rumors were all passed upon on social media. Every single one of the threats. Yesterday there was a threat. Today there was also a threat that was circulating through the media and caused half my school to just poof. People were leaving by the dozens. Parents calling school with concern and coming to pick up their children by the masses. It's truly sad. It upsets me. It really does upset me. And this is what we're talking about. Wait a minute. I got an idea. I lost it again. I'm over here I'm sorry for the cut, because I'm over here actively talking to people as I record this, which is not the most ideal recording environment. So if I do peek off at my phone a couple of times, I'm sorry. Still trying to comfort a couple of people that were having literal mental breakdowns over the fact that they're at home and they're, worried about other people that are at school. Actually, on the way to school today, because I was doing some other things back at my home school, there were people worried about me, actively begging me not to go to school because they were terrified. What I think is, if you really think about it, social media is a latent power. A latent power. Let's look up the definition of latent. Latent. How do you spell latent? L-A-D-E-N-T? Let's check. D-N-T. Latent. Oh, there's no N. Latent. Here we go. Latent. L-A-T-E-N-T. Latent. Existing but not yet developed or manifested. Hidden or concealed. So when I say latent power, what do you think latent power means? Hidden power, concealed power, power not yet developed. Discovering her, this is an example in a sentence. Discovering her latent talent for diplomacy. Discovering her hidden talent for diplomacy. Dormant, stuff like that. But don't want to get too deep into that, but just thought of a new name for the video. But when I sit here and say that social media is a latent power, would you believe me? Because just think about it. Media is the most powerful thing in the universe. Hear me out. Say it again. Media is the most powerful entity on earth. It has the power to make guilty innocent and innocent guilty. And that's power. That's a lot of power. We talked about how quick things can spread. We talk about how, but we know things cannot be deleted. But just think about it. Nothing actually happened at the school those 2 days. Those were all just rumors, but everybody was on edge. One of the reasons why I was not freaking out was because I believed in my local police department. Shout out to Hubbard Police Department, because I love my police department. When I get older, I want to get into law enforcement, and I'm probably going to be stationed here with them, because at least ever since I've been living here, which is forever, they have done good to me. They've been good on me. They have done everything that I've asked them to do. It's to protect and serve, and they've done just that. But of course there will be others to disagree, and thank God in this world we are all entitled to our own opinion. If you have a different opinion about the Hubbard Police Department, please by all means go down in the comment section to reach me on any of the other platforms you know me on, and let's have a conversation. And if we do have a conversation, I'm not going to be here trying to sway your idea on the police department, because like I talked about in previous episodes, that when somebody believes something, they're probably going to believe that for a long time or forever. Sometimes it takes a long time to persuade people. Like I said, people are entitled to their own opinions. But one of the reasons why, excuse me, one of the reasons why I said I wasn't freaking out was A, because of the police department and I know what they're capable of. 2, because almost like I've become numb. You know it's bad when someone's like, oh, a school got threatened. Oh, I got threatened with a firearm. But I ain't scared because it happens like every week. Not here at this school, but just in general, around the United States. There's not a day that goes by, not a week that goes by when it says mass shooting here, mass shooting there, people shot, person shot, this person shot. There's not a day that doesn't go by when I don't see that. I promise you there isn't. I guarantee you if I wanted to right now, I could look at an article, I don't know, posted 24 hours ago or today, 35 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, and it would be about gun violence. I become numb to the fact that somebody is able to take my life with a firearm. It's sad, really. It really is. And it's a dang shame that nowadays, in this generation, our greatest ally in solving problems is to bring a gun to school. It's sad. And if people that do that are weak-minded, pathetic. Am I going after school shooters? Yes, I am. Like I said, it's quite sad that people think the best way to solve the problem nowadays is to bring a gun into the equation. No diplomacy or anything. No talk it out, no talk to somebody. It's just, and even if that is the case, why would you bring it to school? Why would you bring it to school to hurt other people? To a school of all places. There are people that have gone into schools that are not even that are not even related to the school, and they will burn it down. It's sad. It truly is sad. And before we move on to something else, I have to wrap that up. If you want to look more into the story, you can go to like WKBN or trying to figure it out. I know WKBN did an article on it around here. 1 second. I gotta see if I can find it. WKBN. Yes, it was WKBN. 2 of them. This one was posted 23 hours ago. Lockdown lifted for Hubbard High School District. Police still investigating threat. Story today. Hubbard police addressing concerns about reported threats. It was a 2-part series. And let me make this expressively clear. Come here. It is also sad. Well, that's an arrestable offense, by the way. So if you call in threats, you will be arrested and you will be prosecuted for that. But also, what also disappoints me and makes me disappointed of this generation, makes me disappointed in the human race as a whole, because how evil do you have to be to do this? But there were rumors being thrown around that the threat was just a way of getting out of school. Kids can have a day out of school, like a free day. So you're telling me that a disappointing human being would take the time out of their obviously miserable life, busy life. No, it was busy if they want to take out of school so bad. Busy life to want to go on social media and make threats towards the school. So just so they can get out of one day, just so they can get out of a day of school. Why? Why? I'm not being actually, listen, I'm not even being mean at this point. I'm not being like a smart aleck. I'm like actually wondering, how sad do you have to be to do something like that? How sad do you have to be to make threats towards the school and because they're obviously hoping for the school to be shut down or something like that. Obviously they wanted that to happen, and it didn't happen because it's funny, because we will find who you are, who made those threats, and you will be located, and you will be prosecuted. You will be out of here. You'll be gone. You're asking me right now, why am I so passionate about this? You don't even go to the school anymore. It's still my school. It's the school that I grew up with, the friends that I grew up with, the people that I've grown up with. And when they are petrified to the point where they don't want to go to school anymore, at least for the week or for today, because somebody threatened the school. I think that's pretty pathetic, if you ask me. I mean, that's what it is. It's pathetic. It's absolutely disgusting. It's pathetic. There's no other word. You're the scum of the earth. Take the time out of your miserable life that will not continue much longer by doing such things. We already talked about how much of a superpower social media is. I wasn't over-exaggerating that. I wasn't joking about that. Literally, media has the power to make innocent guilty. It's weird. It's odd. People believe anything on the internet nowadays. It's gonna be nice. I had this video all planned out. Not this one specifically. I had a video planned out. I think it was good. It all ran like clockwork. If you would have just done your job, did your schoolwork, you would be so. I'm just trying to, because it really boggles my mind. You guys know me. You guys know my philosophy. You guys know my policy. I'm a good person. I'm a really, really good person. I try to be, at least. At least I've been told that I am a good person. But why would you want to do this? When you stump Michael, and Michael isn't able to make an equation so he can answer this problem, you know you've done something bad. You've done something really, 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 really bad. It's sad because, like I said, and the case is, talk about it. Talk about why some of the things happen. Talk about why people come and gun down people in schools. We talk about why people use guns. Why people it's why people do this. It's disappointing. Like I said, it's sad that this is the only problem solver we have nowadays, apparently. I don't want to get too political, but when you get on the basis of school shootings and why people do it, guns get laced, intermixed. Talked to a couple people, did a little interview with them. I talked to them, and I asked them, why? why do you think somebody would shoot up a school? They answered me, well, people say, like the motives, if you're talking about the motives, people say some of the motives of school shooters are just mass shooters in general, or because they're unhappy, depressed, sad, they've been bullied and all that stuff. So one of the words that I see thrown around, and one of the main motives that I see thrown around in everything was he was misguided, he was bullied. Let's talk about it. Now, we already talked about a society. We talked about what type of society we live in. We truly do live in a society. Let me explain something to you. We don't just live in any society. We live in a numb society. It's sad. And you know the society, you know the world, you know everything has gone to crap when it's gone to something. If you something in this world, the society has obviously gone wrong. Has obviously gone wrong if you have people wanting to actively shoot other people. You know, especially schools. There's something wrong with this society if you have kids that attend those schools too that want to hurt people to the extent of bringing a gun to school and shooting people. If that doesn't tell you that something's wrong with society, then most definitely there must be something wrong with you. I'm not the first one to address the fact that there's a problem with society, and I surely won't be the last person to address that there's something wrong with society. One of my questions before I die, one of the questions I want answered is why are we so sad? I could never understand why. I feel hard in my mouth. Yeah. Excuse me, I had a piece of hair in my mouth. I was like, yeah. If you get hair in your mouth, don't mean to get it too off kilter, but like I said, ooh, what did I get on my arm? I hate when I get like random bumps and scratches on my arm. They're so annoying. But anyway, like I was saying, now what do you think I mean by a numb society? Well, at least in my definition, in my interpretation of a numb society, my interpretation of a numb society, if we were load, I might have to go back and watch the video, but basically, if I was able to sum up, okay, now I remember. If I was to basically sum up numb society, it was me talking about why society it is the way it, why society it is the way it is, you know what I mean? I explained to them why society is so unfazed, why society is just so bland, why society is so edgy, why is society so troubled. I don't know, bro. Like I said, it saddens me a lot. It really does sadden me. It does, because it's just mind-boggling, man. It is. Like, I've grown up around this time, and I'm like, there are kids my age that go out and shoot kids my age in school because they don't like something about something. And it's sad that we talked about bullying before. We have. And the lengths somebody will go when they get bullied. Unfortunately, when some people get bullied, some people take their lives. Fortunately, when some people get bullied, they cut themselves. They hurt themselves. They jump. They drown. They swallow. They commit suicide. It's terrible. And unfortunately, when some people are bullied, they pick up a weapon and pick up a gun and they go out and take their aggression out on everyone. In some cases, they take their anger out on themselves. Kids my age, 17, will pick up a gun and end their lives because they were bullied. And not just bullying, but it could just be just a multitude of things. But ultimately, that could have ultimately like pushed that person over the edge. It's sad to think about. Something could be going on at home, something could be going on at work, something could be going on in their love life, something could be going on at school. At all those things could be going on at once, and that could make a person a little bit crazy enough to pick up a gun and mow down several dozen of their fellow classmates and wound a dozen others. I don't want to get too dark, but do you guys remember the Sandy Hook shooting? I'm pretty sure that was the shooting where a person walked in and started shooting a bunch of kids, like young kids, and shot a teacher. But there's this guy that mowed down kids. Sandy Hook, some of the big ones, Sandy Hook, Columbine, there's a bunch of them, and it's sad that there are so many that I can't even count on both sets of my hands. Those were just some of the big ones. I haven't even listed off all the big ones, but there are small ones too that happen. It's just, the media's just trying to keep up with it all. But this is why I hate bullies. This is why in last episode we talked about bullying and what it could do to a person. I mean, I put the trigger warning at the beginning of the video for a reason, because it's topics like this, topics like self-harm, hurt people. Like, people cut themselves, people burn themselves, people scar themselves, people mutilate their bodies. For the sake of not feeling numb. People would go and cut their faces and cut other body parts just to feel pain. Talking to somebody, they told me, well, why I do it is I have the fear of not being able to feel anything. And I told them, what do you mean by that? They said, well, I went and I went and cut my wrists. And I said, why? He said, well, I wanted to see if I could feel anything, because life just isn't hitting the same anymore. I said, man, talk to me. He said, life just isn't hitting the same anymore. I think this feels unreal. I think this feels weird. Everything feels like a weird dream. So he said, I run the fear of not being able to feel anything, going numb. So what he did was, what he's been doing is mutilating his body, trying to feel something. Cut up near his neck, cut up near his wrists, his arms, his sides, his thighs, his face. And he did that just to feel something. And through it all, in the end of it all, he said he felt nothing. And he said, and he continued to do it for a very long time. Recently he stopped. Recently, or at least he stopped for a while, and I will continue to help him through that. And he did all of it because, like I said, he said life isn't hitting the way it used to, and he was picked on, he was bullied, he always felt left out, he always felt, away, pushed away, brushed away, shoved in a corner, not included in everything. He felt lonely, he felt helpless. He felt like not a single person in this world cared about him. Sad. It's sad that people go to those lengths in order to feel something. In this numb society. It's a dang shame. It's sad. People that are depressed, especially my generation, we seem to be sad, we seem to be depressed, we seem to be coping real hard for something, and I don't know why. I don't know what we're coping for. What are we coping with? What are you having trouble? We don't know. I don't know. I may not be a leading expert, but what I know is that people are sad, and they cannot tell me why. Maybe is it the fact that they're coming to the terms that here they are living a life knowing that the world is burning all around them, knowing that this won't be here in the upcoming years, that won't be here in the upcoming years, they won't be here in the upcoming years. Not them, family, the environment. We are in a we're in the beginning of a dark age. I feel it. But it saddens me. Social media, threats, mainly social media, is a latent power. It is a latent power. It's a hidden power. You guys know the powers, like I said. Somebody has enough power to make an entirety of a school evacuate, not attend school, to make school close for a day. That's pretty powerful. With the click of a button, you can cancel school for an entire day, for 2 days, 3 days, or Lord knows how long, because you wanted to make some nonsense up online. That's bad. That's real bad. Does life have to be this way? Why? I want nothing more than everybody to be happy. I like when people smile. I like when people laugh. It's almost as if nobody in this world wants to be happy. It's saddening. It really is. And I would love to sit here and continue to talk about how depressing and depressed everybody is, about how people cope with their depression and things like that with self-harm and suicide. But I don't have it left in me. I don't. Because believe it or not, I hate making sad videos like this. I hate having to come up on the internet and having to talk about the fact that people are here to hurt other people. Some people just thrive off hurting other people. Unfortunately, some people thrive off of hurting themselves too. Why? I don't understand why. It's sad. And of course, I'm up here acting like if I post this video, all the school shootings are going to stop, all the suicides are going to stop, that the cases of depression are going to decline. No, that's not the case. I'm just another person on the internet bringing awareness to the cause. Get more like-minded people like me thinking about the matter. But soon enough, unfortunately, it's going to be too late when we finally do figure out the solution to the problem. How many people think... How many people have to shoot up schools? How many people have to commit suicide? How many people have to hurt themselves? Have to do this, have to do that? Before we all collectively agree that there is a problem and we all collectively agree that we need to think of a solution. How many bodies need to be dropped before we find a solution? We've already dropped one too many. Well, it looks like my time here has expired, unfortunately. Make sure you go out and do something that you enjoy. Go out to a park. Go enjoy the sunset. Go to the beach when it gets warmer. Go play the video games with your cousins, friends, and mother. Go play Call of Duty. Make sure you go take out something that you enjoy. Go read a book. Go do a puzzle. Because at the end of the day, nobody is more important than you. It's true. People think I just fabricate that. No. Think about it at the end of the day. Because nobody's entitled to your time. Nobody's entitled to this. Nobody. No. What you're entitled to is peace and quiet. What you're entitled to is safety, good well-being. Because at the end of the day, nobody's more important than you. Then again, my name is Michael, and this has been Talking That Nonsense. Be good people. Stay fast. Stay fast. But be good people. And stay safe out there, y'all.